Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, April 17th, 2023. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Boy, what was supposed to be an iffy weekend weather-wise turned out to be pretty darn good, except for that one storm on Saturday afternoon. I did catch a Bay Sox game on Friday night, and I did something I haven't done in probably 10 years. I went bowling, and let's just say my score was outstanding if I was golfing. Well, we do have a bunch of news, so shall we? Yes, more gunshots. That was from about half a mile away. The Annapolis police are investigating what appears to have been a shootout at the Royal Farm store in the city's Eastport section. At about 2:20 a.m. on Saturday morning, police responded to report of shots being fired in the parking lot of the store. At about the same time, a male victim arrived at AAMC with gunshot wounds. Police do say that the victim was in the parking lot when the car pulled up and a group of suspects got out and shot the victim multiple times. From the audio we just heard, there were at least 20 shots fired. So, if you do know something, please say something and call the police at 410-260-3439. Following up on a story about a vandal at Tyler Heights Elementary School, shortly after the publication of the suspect's photos, the Annapolis Police Department said they were able to identify him. He is a minor and charges are pending, and that's about all we know at this point. Chalk up a win for the residents who enjoy water access. Chalk up another loss to the city's Office of Law. A judge has ruled in favor of two local Eastport residents who sued the city to have the city enforce a deed restriction for public water access to Wells Cove, which is right off of Spa Creek. For some reason, the city entered into an agreement with the adjacent condo association giving them the access, which they promptly blocked the public from using. Well, Judge Elizabeth Morris invalidated that agreement and told the city and the condo association that it is indeed public access and that the agreement was null and void. Plus, she ordered the city and the condo to pay the legal fees of the two plaintiffs. Between the bicycle claim, the two HACA claims, and now this, I'll tell you, the city's not coming out of court with too many in the win column. Great news for the O'Leary family and black market bakers. Absolutely horrible news for any shot of me carrying through with a low-carb diet. Black Market Bakers, which started out as a food truck in the parking lot at Chevy's and opened a year ago in Edgewater in the shopping center behind the old Kmart, has opened another location in Annapolis right down the road from me at the Port Annapolis Marina. As I say, congratulations to the O'Learys. Boo to any chance of me getting on that diet. This is Earth Week, and Earth Day is Saturday, and that means that it is time for Annapolis Green to start kicking some gas. From 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday, the first block of West Street will be closed as it will be filled with electric vehicles and their owners. Come on out and kick the tires, figuratively please, and chat with the people that actually own and drive these things. They're going to have cars, pickups, motorcycles, bikes. There may even be a bus there as well. But there are going to be several dealerships, too, with new cars, so you can check them out as well. And I'll tell you, they have come a long way in just a few years. So if electric is in your future, and it probably is in all of ours, come on out on Saturday. And this event is next Tuesday, but it always sells out, so here is your warning. Profs and Pints is back at the Trophy Room at the Graduate Hotel on April 25th, Tuesday night. The topic this month is all aboard the Webb Space Telescope. The prop this time around is Matthew Greenhouse, who was the project scientist for the telescope's instrument payload. You've seen the images now? Come hear about it firsthand. Tickets are available while they last. profsandpints.com. Hopefully you caught our Canines in Crosstrek segment on Friday when we had Apple as our guest. She was a real cute Chihuahua Dachshund mix. Do check that out. Check out our post from noon on Friday for some great photos. And if you do have some room in your heart or your home for Apple, we have all the information on how to adopt her. And on Saturday on the Local Business Spotlight, we spoke with Mike Carter from Annapolis Tours and Crawls, who saw a need here in town and filled it, and how. This Saturday, it's Dr. Mark Bedell from Anne Arundel County Public Schools, and that was a really interesting one for me to do. All right, that is a wrap. Thank you first and foremost, and also a quick thank you to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief. Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, Hospice of the Chesapeake, and the Maryland Higher Education Commission. Ann Alsina is back with us this morning, and George Young from DCMDVA Weather is here with the only locally forecast weather report you're going to find. And hey, here's a fun fact. George was forecasting most of last week from Vegas, not as a gambler, because his daughters were kicking ass in the international gymnastics competition. So congrats to George and his girls. All that's coming up in just a bit, so make sure you hang tight.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, April 17th. It was a pretty nice weekend for the Annapolis region, despite a few storms on Saturday, and while it will be cooler, today through Wednesday, warmer temps will return Thursday through Saturday. Look for mostly sunny skies today with breezy highs around 70 degrees, to be followed by highs in the mid-60s Tuesday, with gustier winds blowing 25 to 30 miles per hour at times, with more sun Wednesday, with highs back around 70 degrees ahead of another sunny day Thursday, with temps in the mid to upper 70s. From there, temps will jump back up into the low to mid 80s Friday, with a chance of showers returning late in the day, lasting through much of Saturday, with highs Saturday in the mid to upper 70s, before skies clear for Sunday as temps cool back down into the upper 60s to close out the weekend. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DC MDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And don't forget, follow DC MDVA Weather on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, along with the website at dcmdvaweather.info, so you can always stay weather informed.
Did you get close to completing your college degree but dropped out during the COVID pandemic? Well, as a near completer, you may be eligible to receive money from the Maryland Higher Education Commission to finish your degree. Again, if you started your degree but for whatever reason never finished it, the Maryland Higher Education Commission has money to help you return to college and finish what you started. Go to mhec.maryland.gov and click on the Near Completer grant to learn more.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing, it can be confusing. Ann Alsina, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it all for over 17 years. Are you ready? Now here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. The markets had a fourth consecutive week of gains after three pieces of positive news. The Consumer Price Index and Producers Price Index both declined, showing that inflation, while still high, is slowly dropping. Three large U.S. banks reported earnings on Friday and all exceeded estimates, easing fears of stress in the banking sector. We've been asked about banks and savings accounts and other places to keep emergency funds quite a bit lately. We discussed FDIC limits a few weeks ago and why we don't expect to see a contagion of bank failures. If you want to earn a bit more than in your savings account, you have a few options. First, you can purchase CDs, or certificates of deposit. Your bank offers these in varying lengths. They are willing to pay a bit more interest than a savings account because consumers are offering to keep the money in the bank for a set period of time. The longer the time period, the higher the interest. You don't actually have to leave your money there the entire length of the CD. If you take it out early, your principal, or the amount you deposited, is always yours. The bank will recalculate the interest based on how long you actually left the money there. Another option is a high-yield savings account. These savings accounts usually have a minimum account size and often limit the number of transactions you can make in a month. Again, this gives the bank a bit more certainty that you're leaving the money in the account, so they are willing to pay a bit more interest. Finally, you can use a money market. Depending on where you purchase it, a money market may or may not be FDIC insured. If you're doing it through a bank, it usually is, but you might want to confirm this when you open the account. A money market is an investment vehicle where each share is equal to $1. If you earn interest, the value of the shares doesn't go up. You just get more shares. Like a high-yield savings account, there are often account minimums and limits on the number and size of transactions. You can find comparisons of interest rates on these options at websites like bankrate.com. If you want to invest according to your personal values, you might want to try mightydeposits.com, which allows you to choose banks based not on the interest rate paid, but on the values the bank holds, such as supporting underserved communities or not investing in fossil fuels. We also have numerous local banks that often have great rates right here in Anne Arundel County. Your action item this week is to review your banking relationship. Are you paying fees or being charged penalties for your accounts? Are you earning a good rate of return on your savings? Are there ATM fees? Take some time to evaluate your bank this week and research options. Follow us on Facebook and check out our website at CovingtonAlsina.com for more information and great resources. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. All performance references historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices around management may not be invested into directly. Opinions voiced in this show for general information only are not to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, contact the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with CovingtonAlsina.
Advanced illness decisions aren't always easy. Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, wants you to know you do have a choice over who provides care, what type of care, and when and where your loved one receives that care. Learn more at hospicechesapeake.org.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.